This video is brought to you by eToro. Now, you may have seen that eToro sponsor a number of Premier League clubs. Now, if you don't have time to invest, you can use eToro's CopyTrader feature, copy top performing investors, so when they make a trade, you make the same trade automatically at no additional cost. Then click the link in the description and get on it right now. AFTV Turkish, 1-1 in the end. Yet another game where Arsenal went down to 10 men. But what did you make of it? Was it for you? Was it a better performance than we've seen recently? Was it? Did they at least show that they are fighting for the manager?
That's what I've been seeing, Rob. But like, we can't do this again. We can't think that after weeks of poor, gutless, heartless performances that we can start calling this fight. You know, at the end of the day, this is more dropped points. This is another game where we haven't taken initiative. You know, did we deserve to win that game, Rob? Even before we went down to 10 men? I don't think we did. So
you didn't think when maybe when we got it back to 1-1, it looked like Arsenal still would be the more likely team at that situation until we go and get, you know, ourselves down to 10 men.
There wasn't much time in between it, and to bet even our goal, when you look at it, it's a moment of individual brilliance from Saka to beat 3 men, and that's what created the goal. Aside from that, there wasn't much clear-cut chances either end, aside from the crossbar with Redmond and the crossbar with Rob Holding. You know, we cancelled each other out in that department, but we can't, you know, now turn around and say heart, desire, fight, all of this stuff. We can't do that because it's still not good enough. And it's off the back of a statement from this club that was brought out to reassure us fans. You know, that statement was brought out to reassure us and give us confidence. But in reality, it's highlighted the problems more than ever at the club. You know, condescending statement where they believe that they are right, that they believe they deserve patience. Don't you think Arsenal fans have been patient? We believed in a 10-year plan where we was meant to get up to the greatest teams in Europe. That was us being patient. We've been patient since 10, 15 years now. We've been patient. So I don't understand how they can come out and say patience when they're still making similar mistakes that they've always made. The Willian transfer, for example, it's going to come back to haunt us in 2-3 years. You know, even if we turn around now and say, all right, the Willian deal, it wasn't a good one. We can't get rid of him at the wages he's on. But no, he's condescending with it again. He tells us that we need patience with Willian. He's 32 years of age, Rob. He's been in the league for 7 years. If we need patience for that guy, then God only knows what's coming, you know. And how can we be patient with that, Rob? Are you confident following that statement?
No, I mean, I thought the statement, what I couldn't believe about the statement is where they said that Arteta's doing a brilliant job. But listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. And what the statement does show is that they are not looking to sack him. He is their guy. And all we can hope and guess, I suppose, pray is that they do what they say and back him. As you've said on many occasions when you've come on here, it's a transitional process. There's lots of players that need to leave. That's, you know, whether it's a bit like tonight's game, isn't it? A couple of players that we all wanted to see out of the team, they were forced into it. It's going to be a bit like that at the end of the season. There's going to be some players that I think a lot of Arsenal fans have had enough of. They will be forced to get rid of those guys. So it's going to be what they do after them. But I understand you fully when you say that you, for one, and I you know, listen, I kind of agree with you. This board has not given me any evidence to say that we should trust them.
No, and they're still taking the piss, Rob. On the same day, he tells us that the club are going through such a big transition, a cultural transition, an overhaul of culture in the club. Yeah, they're telling us to be patient with that. But the culture change starts from them. On the same day, you lot brought out a retro range of Adidas gear. Yeah, all you did on Twitter and Instagram, Arsenal Football Club, was highlight, promote, and take the piss out of the fans. We're 15th in the league, and all they cared about was marketing the latest gear in the long line of latest gear this season. You know, they can talk to us about cultural change, but where is it from them? Where's the ownership from them? Where's the culpability from them? At the end of the day, it's them that needs to change the culture at this club. They can't tell us to be patient with it when they're the ones that ruined it in the first place. We all go on about how classy Arsenal are. Where is it? It's gone.
Would you, going back to the game, as I said, a little bit more fight and everything showed. Could it be a turning point for Mikel Arteta as a manager? He's been under a lot of pressure recently. It wasn't a defeat. It's 10 men again. It's not the ideal situation, but they've held on. I thought they defended pretty well, actually, after that, considering the amount of pressure they was on. You could see today that the players, they left it all on the pitch. Is that not something to positively look at?
Nah, because if that's all they've got, then God help us for the next 6 months, Rob. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but some of them, that is all they've got.
I know. So God help us, full stop. You already know I knew this coming into the season. So it's high time that everyone sees it and everyone remains. Because remember what happened after Emery left and the players, they didn't pick up form, but Arteta managed to get something out of them. So people would say Xhaka looks improved. People would say Bellerin looks improved. People would say Holding looks improved. But in reality, as soon as that little run of form ends, you see the true form come out again. And then we're disappointed again. But why are we disappointed? Because we raise our expectations. Let's not raise our expectations of these players. Let's just continue the momentum in terms of we are not happy as a fan base. I'm not saying put it on Arteta because that is not right. But at the same time, Arteta needs to start, sympathizing with the fans a bit. He came in and talked about the connection with the fans at this club and he maintained that was a priority. Well, a year on, that connection has somewhat divided and it's up to him to bring it back together. And this weekend, we've got Everton. A year on from them hiring Ancelotti and us hiring Arteta. Yeah, that is a massive game. Now, I don't think Arteta's getting sacked regardless. You don't come out with a statement like that and then sack your manager, even if he loses 3 games in a row. You don't do it. So I believe that game for us fans is going to be big because if he can win that game, if he can pull out a performance, if he does something in that game where he can trump Ancelotti, it might dampen down some of the aggression towards Arteta. And it might then be a run of form. But I don't think today is that. I think today was a bit much of the same. It's good that Oba got a goal because he needed that. Great finish too. But like I said, it was an individual brilliance from Saka that done it. And yet again, he is one that's sticking out from a bad set of players, really.
Carried along by a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad where we've come in. And now Martinelli's coming around the corner. That's going to gas us fans a bit. But, we've still got to remain grounded and know that Martinelli ain't coming in to change nothing at this club. The change comes in January. And as much as I've said that I don't expect much in January, after that statement and where we are in the league, if they do support him, Arteta, and his vision, and if they do give him that ownership like they have done with the managerial role, then you need to support him because you are the reason he is under pressure. If you believed in it in the first place, then you need to do everything to relieve the pressure of him, But they've done everything not to do that. They've allowed Xhaka to remain at this club, Luiz to sign a contract extension, another has-been to come into the team in Willian on a 3-year contract. It's still the same mistakes and it's going to be the same pressure on whoever the manager is unless these mistakes behind the scenes get fully resolved. Do you know what I mean, Rob? So we'll see. Obviously, Gabriel was silly and with the red card, but he's been solid all season. So regardless, it's something he needs to learn and take away from, and hopefully he does.